Slant flying is a pretty tough gesture in terms of the base. It's similar to Embrace the Tiger, except that this stretch is more demanding because of where we start. From the Wu Chi, from Embrace the Tiger, remember that this foot is straight ahead, and then we step straight back, hit the corner, and finish our gesture over there with the bow stance in that direction. What makes the slant flying harder and requires more flexibility is that we finished with repulse the monkey, which means that we're in a 45-degree cat stance, and now we've got to hit this other corner. So it's the same deal, but with my foot over here, stepping straight back is practically impossible. All right, with good flexibility, I suppose you could do it. But that's okay. We can get around that, and we're not cheating ourselves because this would be the way you would actually execute this footwork. So as long as I'm low, I'm going to do what I call a swing step. So I'm going to swing this step around. I'm going to swing it and bring it back and touch my heel down. Now I can shift, pull my left foot, and hit the corner. Now, unlike Embrace the Tiger where you sit in your quad, with slant flying, you don't sit in your quad. You're going to hit your bow stance, but it's going to be kind of like the single whip, where in the single whip you have a bow stance, but you're not straight ahead, mainly because it's an angular technique. So that's how we're going to end up, is in this corner. So I'm doing this in the actual direction, common direction of the form. The other trick that I can get away with sometimes, and I'll change angles, is that as I swing this out, my toes may not be pointing to the corner yet. I can sort of spin my foot and move at the same time to give me just a little bit of space, if you will, where I'm lacking stretch capability. So there's a few different ways you can kind of play with this. Looking at it from the classical standpoint, the actual move would be a swing step and setting up a bow stance to the corner and executing your gesture. Now, what I'd like to do is show it from a couple different angles, and then I'm going to show you a cheat step. Let's look at it from the front. So I'm at the end of repulse the monkey. So I'm in a cat stance, and I got to get, right now this is my front, I got to get to this corner. So I'm going to swing this foot, and I'm going to line up my heels. If I had a yardstick, it'd be along the side here. I'm going to line up my heels, just like I do in Embrace the Tiger. Step over here, fix my back foot, and hit the corner. Again. So swing step, turn your hips, and bow stance to the corner. Center line is over here. Let me take it from another angle. From repulse the monkey in this direction, I got to go to this right rear corner. And swing step, point your toes to the corner, fix the back foot, and finish your gesture. So that's basically how you're going to try to set it up. Cheat steps. I'm going to show you two different ways of doing the cheat step, which means that you have to think about whether you're going to do a cheat step in the beginning or not. Meaning this. When I do repulse the monkey, normally I'm passing through, as we saw in the previous video. When I get to this last one, I'm going to end up in a cat stance and hold the ball. Right here, you will not be able to do a cheat step if your right foot's too close to your left foot, because what we're going to do is we're going to pivot on the heel, and I could bump into my own foot. So you have to sort of think ahead of time. When you get ready to finish off your repulsive monkey, I'll take it from the last one. When I get ready to finish this, I'm going to step back, do my repulse. Now right here, I will think ahead of time and only pull my front foot back a little bit, because I need to leave space for me to pivot on the heel of my left foot and point it straight ahead. Now if I point it straight ahead, I'm basically setting up the Embrace the Tiger scenario, right? Because Embrace the Tiger came off of Wu Chi and our foot's straight ahead. So I'm kind of getting to that place. So if you've gotten the flexibility from doing the Embrace the Tiger without a cheat step, then take your cheat step to this point where you're pointing straight ahead. And then you can do your swing step and it'll be a little bit easier. Hit the corner and form your gesture. So that's one way of doing it. If you want to reduce your stress because of lack of flexibility further, then you definitely have to make sure that your repulsive monkey step is not too close. This time I'm going to twist this foot from this corner to this corner, and then I can do my swing step and finish. Now for me, I actually have a problem doing the cheat step because I do have the flexibility to do the gesture in the traditional way of doing it. So what happens to me is when I try to do a cheat step, I actually overshoot my placement of my feet. If I turn this like this and then I do my swing, you'll see I'll end up behind myself and I'm not pointing this corner anymore, I'm pointing in the wrong direction. So it's going to be up to you as to what you want to try to do. I think that if you practice the Embrace the Tiger, you're probably close enough to flexibility to make your cheat step stop when you align your foot straight ahead. The only difference is in Embrace the Tiger, you stepped straight back and opened your hips to get it, right? You opened your hips and you stepped straight back. On this one, you're going to swing, so you're going to find it a little bit easier. So I'd make a swing step, point to the corner, and finish my gesture. Executing this in the traditional way, basically I'm going to do a swing step, point my toes over the corner, and get my bow stance. Not going to sit in the quad on this, just going to stop right about here. All right, with the cat stance modified to be far enough away for me to do a cheat step, I'm going to turn this 45 degrees straight ahead, then do my swing step and bow stance in the corner. And if I'm going to do the other variation, again anticipating putting my cat stance far enough in front so I can turn this left foot from this corner to this corner, then I can do my swing step. I actually have to think about not swinging too far and finishing my gesture over here. All right, so that's it as far as the base goes. In terms of the hands, I'll do this coming towards the camera. From here, I'm going to do my swing step. I start with a hold ball. I'm going to do my swing step. My right hand comes up in an arcing fashion. My left hand sort of like passes each other a little bit, and then I've got my slant flying to the corner. And again, if I had a partner, I would show you how this is used in a martial application. So I'm going to do it from this direction. So I'd be facing at the end of my repulsive monkey. I'm going to start my swing step. So I'm going to swing, and then my right hand is going to come up, and my left hand is going to go down. Basically, this is palm up. I'm striking with this part of my hand, or I might be using my shoulder. There's a few applications that come off of this, but that's the general gist of it. You're just basically going to cross your palms. You have the ball. You swing and slant flying. I'm going to bring out the yardstick now so I can show you the alignments. So this is going to be kind of tough to show you because I can't get right next to the yardstick since I'm going to move this foot. So I'm going to be spaced away from this thing, but I want to have a reference point so you can see what I'm trying to do. Just as a quick reminder from Embrace the Tiger, if you remember, we had the yardstick parallel to this foot, but we're standing in Wu Chi and our feet are straight ahead. So it's pretty easy for me to just step straight back and demonstrate that I'm very close to this yardstick, and I got my bow stance to the corner, and on that one I sit in my quad. Because my foot's at a 45-degree angle, I'm going to be spaced away from this guy, but from a footwork perspective, this is where I'm going to swing step, try to get my heels to line up on that same thing, point my toes to the corner, bring this foot around, and I'm not going to sit in my quad, but I have my bow stance over there. So from this perspective, if I take this yardstick and moved it up, my heels should be in line with each other. So I'm going to kind of step back here and show that here's the alignment, but I'm to the corner. All right, this is where bow stance to the corner. All right, so hopefully that'll help you understand where you're trying to target your footwork. All right, starting with my cat stance, I'm going to do my swing step and try to get my heels on the same line, point my toes to this corner, pull my left foot around, and stop when it's perpendicular to the yardstick. My right foot is 45 degrees to the yardstick. If I were to sit in my quad, I would have my bow stance. Hopefully the space between the yardstick and my heels is even. So if I was to slide the yardstick up to my heels, it would touch. I think you can see that I'm lined up pretty good. If I bring these back, this is how I would be when I finish the stance for this slant flying gesture. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, in the silent follow along portion, I'm going to do 6 directions of the form in the common and uncommon direction, and then I'm going to repeat that with the 2 cheat step variations. The first cheat step variation will be the one where we move the foot just 45 degrees to set up a stance that's similar to Embrace the Tiger, and then the second one where you can swing your foot like 90 degrees, and that one will make it a little easier to go all the way to that right rear corner. So we're going to play with those things. Just one more comment regarding the follow along, no audio part of these training sessions. On this particular slant flying, when I get to the cheat steps, I'll be honest with you, I'm going to struggle with those. I'm not used to doing a 2-part process. So if my feet aren't lining up and all that kind of stuff, understand it's because I'm pretty much flexible enough where I can hit the slant flying requirement, but when I do the cheat step, I tend to overshoot it, so my heels aren't lined up anymore. So I'm going to give it my best shot, but bear with me. Use it just for your own practice purposes if you're choosing to incorporate that into your process. Again, just remember, when you do your cat stance, make sure that you don't bring your foot back too far or you can't do the cheat step. So you're going to have to think a little bit about that. You're going to use that front foot just to help you pivot on the heel of your back foot. So keep that in mind also. Okay?